Okay, so the goal here is I have a need on the farm. So I need a movable, very easily movable sheep shelter that I can use for rotational grazing, and I don't have to continuously get the tractor out and move something very heavy, which is what I have to do now if I want them to have a good shelter. So what I want to do is I want to make something quick and easy out of these IBC totes, just the bladders. Now what I'm afraid of is going to happen is that they're going to become too flimsy. So that is obviously a problem. If they become too flimsy, I believe I can reinforce them with wood. But what I would really love is if I could just cut a hole in them and essentially make it just, that's it. Just cut a hole big enough for a sheep to go into, and it'll keep the water off of them. It'll keep the sun off of them somewhat. And I can also leave just a little bit of a lip at the bottom, and they should be able to put some like pine shavings or some like some straw in there that they can use, you know, for a nice soft dry bedding to sleep in. And especially during lambing season, they'll have something to go inside. And these are super lightweight, so I don't, not only can I move them, but the kids as well as Amanda should be able to move them. So this one is filled with paint, and so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it open, and then I'm gonna go ahead and try to figure out what to do with all the paint, and, you know, obviously throw that away and get that in the trash bags or whatever. It's obviously very, very heavy, but need to get rid of that so it's not just leaking all over the yard and have paint crap all over the yard. But what I want to do is just start cutting from here and just kind of make sort of an oval cutting thing. So we'll just get started and figure it out from there. So I got my hole in there, and you know, this is obviously really lightweight. I got all the most of the big chunks of paint out there, and I'm still gonna kind of vacuum in there and clean it up a little bit more, maybe power wash it and whatnot. But it's very lightweight, and so one thing I will probably have to do is either I'll have to put some wood around the bottom and screw that to it. And what that will do is hopefully just give it a little bit of weight at the bottom so that the wind's not just blowing it all over the place, because it's going to catch wind and it's pretty lightweight. The other thing I can do is I can just put like those little patio stones or something in the bottom and then cover those up with straw. So we'll just kind of use it and see how it works. We'll set it up for him, and then we'll make changes as necessary. I may have to add drain holes if it holds water and stuff like that. I may even do like a little maybe put like a little awning over here so it doesn't get water inside of the tote itself. But for the most part, as far as being lightweight, that's definitely lightweight. It's got these little things here that it had already, and I got to clean the burrs around the edges, and I might clean those up a little bit. But these, I could attach ropes to this and then just kind of pull it as well. So I mean, it works pretty well. I think it's going to work for what I need it to. And we'll just kind of see how long it lasts and whether it works or not. But at least keep them nice and dry anyway. So another thing that's been on my mind a lot lately is that my hens are getting pretty old. This will be their 3rd year, and I have seen a lot of decrease in their egg production. And honestly, if they were on any other farm that was just simply there for making money and being as productive as possible, they probably would have been in chicken pot pie by now. But because they're here, You know, they're almost like pets. They've been around for so long, and you know, we could probably butcher them and stuff, but we haven't done that. So they'll probably just live a nice long life here and die of old age. But we do need some more chicks that are going to be able to produce for us in the future, in the near future. So I went ahead and bought a small incubator because I've tried incubating before where I just flipped over stuff and it didn't work out very well. So I found one on Amazon that's supposed to be kind of a self-sustained kind of deal. It just does all the turning that you need to for you. So I'm gonna grab some of these healthy eggs here and I'm gonna start the incubator, and we'll start kind of adding to it until it's full, and then hopefully we can start hatching some baby chicks out. So this is the one I got off Amazon. This is the Cabonix automatic digital incubator with built-in LED candler. So it does the automatic egg turning, so you don't have to turn them all by hand every day. It gives you a countdown to hatch so you can keep track of it. You don't have to keep track of a piece of paper and write it all down. If you're really unorganized, like I definitely am, it has an external water top up so you can make sure that it stays at the right humidity. And it gives you a display of the humidity so that you at all times know what you're dealing with and where you need to be. Again, yeah, that built-in egg handler is going to be pretty handy, you know, and obviously it maintains the stable temperature, which is what you want the incubator to do. It has an auto stop egg turner, so it's just sort of and it only holds 12 eggs. So obviously this is not going to be something that you're going to want if you want to hatch a huge hatchery of eggs, but if you're like me and you just want to add about 8 to 12 a year to your flock, not having to buy them, and just hatch them yourself, I think it's going to be kind of a cool little project to do. The kids are going to be able to watch it happen, and if I forget about it, it won't you know, I won't have a bunch of rotten eggs at the end, which I tend to do because I really do have some pretty bad ADHD or whatever. So you got the instructions here, which I will glance over and pull out the main component here, as well as some of these accessories. Looks like it's got a plug-in and stuff. So we've got our main component here. It looks pretty complicated, but I think really all it comes down to as far as putting together is looks like it's got a plug-in. So we'll get this plugged in, that connects to that, and then I think everything else will be kind of on the computer screen, and then we can kind of add our eggs. So I'll set this up, put this together, and we'll put our eggs in there, and we'll just kind of watch it and monitor it. And if you you know, follow along on the vlog, then I'm gonna be trying to do very often as I possibly can. You'll be able to kind of keep track of that, and that'll be one of the things that I kind of check every day. So pretty simple to set up. This came with this cord, and I just plugged it into the back, and then it has a cord that comes out of the egg turner tray, and then you just plug that in the back right next to it. And you've got your menu here, so you can keep track of your temperature, and this is your humidity, and you can just kind of set that for what you want. It has, you know, a way to set that. You just hold down on that menu, and then you just basically pick what you want your machine to be at. And I've got to look up kind of what it's supposed to be at, because I don't know off the top of my head. It looks like this one is preset to 99.5 and hatch days to 21 days for chicken eggs, and that is what we're hatching. So hopefully I can use this for turkey and quail, and God knows what else I get into next, but for now I'm doing chickens only. So we want 99.5 degrees, I guess. I'll probably double check that just to make sure. And what's kind of cool about this, I don't typically use directions, but this time I probably will, just because I really have no idea kind of what I'm doing. I've never had very much success with hatching. I've always just relied on my chickens to hatch, my hens to hatch a few new to me at a time. But with what we're selling and how much eggs we're selling right now, I want to be able to have a reliable amount of eggs. And so I want to add at least 8 to 12, and I don't want to rely on a hen to do that. So we're kind of relying on this thing. And it does have basically kind of this checklist that you can go through. So it tells you exactly what to do, how to control the humidity. It says day 1 until 3 days before hatch day. And I mean, it just tells you like what you're supposed to be doing last 3 days before hatch day. So definitely something nice to have. And they have a really good instruction booklet. So if you're like me and you have no idea what you're doing, then it gives you a really good idea and step-by-step process to be successful. And it does everything on its own. So if you forget about it, you know, of course I'm gonna be checking on it, try to check on it every day. But if you forget or whatever, if you're like me, you know, I'm gone 24 hours, sometimes 48 hours at a time at the fire station. And you know, sometimes I can't always be here for it, so it'll be nice to have that ability to still turn all the eggs and do that stuff without having to check on it all the time. So you've got this trying to come up to temperature here, and if you press the menu, it says day 21, so it's already set for 21 days. And it's set for 99.9 degrees or 99.5 degrees, and it's headed up there. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add some water here, and it has a little fill line there, so it really doesn't take too much. Keep this water here so we can add as we need to. Then it'll tell you your humidity right here, 51%. So figure out what that needs to be at, and hopefully it can adjust to that.